Hello everyone, Brian De Silva here from the BMC Track It Technical Support team. This video is a part of the Keys to Track It Success series, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to improve the performance of the Track It database. This is part 1. So the performance of the application can suffer because of the database is not optimized for the current data volume. It's very common for a new installation to experience performance problems as soon as a significant volume of data is added to the system. The solution is to optimize the database by implementing periodic index fragmentation and statistics maintenance plans on the database. So here are a few steps that we can take to try and improve the performance of the database. Please make sure that you have a working backup of the database before you begin these steps. So step 1, we are going to see how to rebuild the database indexes. I'm going to use a SQL query that we have in our communities or our knowledge base articles. So let's begin and go to the Trackit database server. So before we run the SQL query, we need to download it from the bmc.com/support website. So in the search, just put the article ID 9227 and hit enter. This brings up the knowledge base article. Click on the knowledge base article to open it and go to the step 2, which has the file to download. Click to download the file. So once the file is downloaded, we need to extract it. So make sure that you extract the file. Once extracted, just open it up and right click, then select the SQL query in here and hit copy. Next, go ahead and stop the Trackit service management service that it's running on the Trackit server. You need to make sure that the service is stopped before executing the SQL query. Once you have stopped the Trackit service management service, open SQL Server Management Studio using your SA account and log into the instance where the database is located. If you do not know the Trackit database server name and the Trackit database name, you need to just open the technician client and click on help and session info, and you will see that this information there. So once logged in, right click on the default Trackit database, which is the Trackit_data, and hit new query. Then paste the query in here and hit execute. Now depending on the size of the database, the query could take a significant amount of time to execute. Once you have completed running this query, you can go ahead and start the Trackit service. So we have seen how to rebuild the database indexes using the SQL query that we have downloaded from the knowledge base article. So the next step would be to back up the SQL transaction log and also to string the transaction log as well. So in order to do that, just right click on your Trackit database and first go into the properties and make sure that in the options that the recovery model is set to full. If the recovery model is set to simple, you won't be able to back up the SQL transaction log. So change the recovery model to full and hit OK. Once that is done, just right click on the Trackit database, select task and then select backup. Then in the backup type drop down, select transaction log. Note the part of where the backup will be saved and also note the name of the backup and hit OK. So as we saw that the transaction log backup completed successfully. So this could take a long time at your end depending on the size of your database. My database is pretty small, so it took very less time to complete this process. So once you have completed this transaction log backup, hit OK here. Next, right click on the Trackit database, select task and then select shrink and files. In the file type, in the drop down, select log and then click OK here. So depending on the size of the database again, this process could take a long time to complete. So make sure that you wait for this operation to complete. Once done, we have completed our steps 2, which is to take a backup of the SQL transaction log and shrink the log file as well. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to create database maintenance plans. So look out for my next video. Thank you for watching.